So I think this is just kind of like his thing. And we were talking to someone about it, and they're like, oh yeah, no, you never go to a party at Dennis's house.
Drake! It's been a tough week for Aubrey, Drizzy, Graham, okay? They out here talking about surviving P. Drizzy, surviving Drake. He lost the rap beef, a whole bunch of allegations, and now his dad is looking like a freaky, freaky boy. So they have now started focusing on Dennis Graham and some of the stuff that he might be up to allegedly. And so this video was floating around today, okay? So this girl apparently showed up to a Drake party, and this is what Dennis Graham was doing at the party.
POV, in 2019 you think you're going to Drake's party, but get Dennis instead.
So she went to the Drake party, and Dennis, he couldn't keep his hands off of her. Look at her face, though. Look at her face at this point. Hold on. Look at her face.
I think you should ask for more paper and more paper and more.
She creeped out.
More paper. I'm blaming you for her.
Now, this girl told the whole story about this party she went to where Dennis Graham was being a little too touchy. Let's see what she said. This is the girl from the video.
Get ready with me while Roy tell the story of the time that I thought I was going to an after party at Drake's, and it ended up being a party at his dad's house. So this was back in 2019. I would like to preface that I was an adult. I was 22 years old. My friends and I are not from LA. We went down and we were able to get like a table at one of like a larger club down in LA. Had fun. And then one of my friends ended up meeting some guy who was like, hey, we like your vibes. Again, we're like not from LA, so this is not like a normal situation from us. And we're like, oh my gosh, how cool. He's like, so there's an after party happening at Drake's house. Like, do you and your friends want to go? And we're like, obviously, like that. Yeah. Again, this is like not our normal scenes. We're like, for sure. One thing to note was that it was literally being televised that he was at some like basketball game in Canada, but we were like, he has a private plane. He can fly here quickly. Like, that's what's happening. So while we were in line, there was some like random like crazy man that was trying to like talk to us and was being real weird. And there was this private security guard who was helping like some celebrity who was there. And his name was Big Money. And Big Money, I know you follow me still. I love you so much. And he was like, hey, back up. And like was so sweet to us and was like very kind and protecting. But then was like, hey, let me get your number and like text me wherever you're going so I know that you're like getting there safe. Because we were clearly like not a part of this scene. Like this was like not our normal scenario that we're in. So our Uber pulls up and we pretty immediately are like, oh, Drake is not going to be at this party. There were like 15 people there. It was not super busy at all. And we're greeted by, it felt like out of a movie. It was this weird, creepy ass butler who was like probably even older than Dennis. Weird vibes. And they just kept like randomly like stopping and then like dancing and then continuing on with conversation. So just Dennis was there, which again, still not from this like area. I'm like, still pretty cool. Like, all right, like for the plot, let's see where this goes. Also, I'd like to preface that like, I'm not a victim. I just thought it was a crazy story. It was a very weird and like uncomfortable situation, but like once it got to the point where I was like, this is too much, me and my friends left. So we were really only there for like maybe 20 minutes. While we're there, he's just being super like handsy and weird. He said some like really strange comments, which that's kind of what started leading us to be like, okay, this guy's odd. And like clearly Drake's not coming. So like we feel like we saw what we needed to see and we're ready to go. One weird thing is there were photos of Drake everywhere. Like his entire wall is just like memorabilia of Drake, which I thought was hilarious. But yeah, basically just like a weird, creepy old dude with his weird, creepy old butler. So we, after 20 minutes, are like, let's go. This is weird. There's like also not enough of us here for us to feel like super comfy. So we tried to call an Uber, but he lives like way up in the Hollywood Hills, and there was like a security guard at the beginning of the neighborhood, and they're like, oh, the security guard won't let us in. He's like, no joke, like 1.5 miles up this road. And we're like, what the fuck? So we literally had to walk in the pitch black to get to our Uber because the security guard wouldn't be like letting our Uber in. No streetlights at all. So we're walking, a group of, I think it was like 5 of us girls. And then all of a sudden we're walking and we see a car coming up from behind us, and it slows down, and it's the fucking butler. I don't know if I can cuss on here. And he's like, hey girls, you want to get in the car? Like, let me give you a ride. And we're like, no, thank you. And we like start running. This happens like 2 more times. He keeps like making his laps, and like, we're the only ones walking on the street. Pitch black. So scary. Then all of a sudden we see a figure walking behind us, and we're like, what? Like, what is that? So we start speeding up because we're like, that's so scary. Then the figure starts speeding up. We start running. The figure behind us starts running. So finally, one of my friends just stops and yells like, what's your problem? And we just hear this like sweet girl's voice, and she's like, I'm so sorry. Like, I was there and I was like getting kind of scared and freaked out. My friends didn't want to leave, so like I left. So it was just this girl walking down the street by herself, and she was trying to like keep up with another group of girls to like feel safe. And then we were like running away from her. So obviously she joined our group, and we made sure that she got home safe. But yeah, that's really it. He was an odd dude and was saying weird things. I'm not going to get into it just because I'm like, I don't know what. I don't know. I'm like a little scared. But like nothing bad happened. I'm not a victim. It was just a crazy story. And it's like one of my favorite fun facts to be like, I peed in Dennis Graham's toilet. So, yeah. And then next time we went to LA, which was like only the second time we were out, saw Dennis again. So I think this is just kind of like his thing. And we were talking to someone about it, and they're like, oh yeah, no, you never go to a party at Dennis's house. So I think it's just kind of like an LA thing that we were just not aware of. But
now you add that to I'm Baby Tate talking about he grabbed my ass at a party and tried to gaslight me when I tweeted about it. Another girl saying he tried to forcefully touch one of her friends at Delilah's. Once she see this tweet, she gonna lose it. Mr. Dennis need to be strapped up in a booster chair. Basically trying to make it seem like, you know, he's a horny old man. And don't forget, he was following a underage TikToker as well. Now, you know the girl from the video, she said she wasn't a victim. She thought it was just a funny story to tell. But this seems to be the word on the street when it comes to Mr. Dennis and his LA home, okay? Now, I thought he was married. I thought he had like a girlfriend or something like that. Last time I saw him, he was with an Asian woman who was close to his age. But I thought Mr. Dennis had him a little chick or something. But allegedly, he's out here looking for chicks, okay? Now, that's what's being said about Mr. Freaky Dennis, Drake's father. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Like the video and subscribe.